Could I also acknowledge the traditional owners of the land and pay respect to elders past and present? Could I particularly acknowledge the presence of His Excellency Izzat Abdul Hadi, the Ambassador of the State of Palestine. Thank him very much for inviting me to be here with the Palestinian community tonight. This is a terrific development. For many years, we've celebrated Palestinian National Day in the New South Wales Parliament, and indeed we had an event last week yet again. But for the community to do this at such a grand venue, I think is a terrific development, and I look forward to attending this function in these palatial surroundings for many years to come. Friends, I was in Lebanon earlier this year with Shaket Musulmani, with Jihad Dib, Julia Finn, parliamentary colleagues, all of whom are here tonight. And we attended the dawn service at the Commonwealth War Cemetery in Beirut on Anzac Day. A stunning, well-maintained war cemetery in Beirut, and it of course is next to the Shatila refugee camp, where of course the tragedy of 1982 will never be forgotten, but for us, on that very solemn day for Australians at the Anzac Day dawn service in Beirut, we couldn't help but be struck by the plight of the Palestinian people. I think there's around 500,000 in Lebanon, been there for decades, but the Shatila refugee camp next to this beautiful, immaculately maintained Commonwealth War Cemetery. And we went to El Minya. Many people from El Minya in my part of Sydney, a number of them here tonight, and the community presented me with a Palestinian scarf. The Mayor of El Minya, the community leaders, the local Member of Parliament from the Future Movement, large reception for our Australian Labor Party delegation. The present they gave me, they honoured me with, was a Palestinian scarf. And I'm proud to say in my electorate of Auburn, at the Granville South High, I was there with Laurie Ferguson just a few weeks ago celebrating the school's 50th year. There's that garden that was planted to commemorate the Nakba that's maintained to this day by the Palestinian community of the western suburbs of Sydney. There's not a lot we can do about international relations from a provincial parliament in Australia, from a state parliament. But when I became Labor leader, I thought, what can I do at the level of state politics to stand with the Palestinian people? So I'm proud to say that I was the first party leader in Australia to adopt a policy for all of my members of Parliament that any MP who takes a study trip to Israel must spend an equivalent period of time, an equivalent number of days in Palestine with the Palestinian people, seeing what they're experiencing. And it won't change the world. It won't change perhaps the harsh and intolerable policies of a right-wing Israeli government right now. But it's a statement. And I'm pleased to say that other leaders are adopting it. I was talking to Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk of Queensland. She's now adopted the same policy. Not a week in Israel and 2 hours in Palestine. Equal time, seeing what the Palestinian people experience in their lives in Palestine. I think members of Parliament who do that, I encourage them to travel to the Middle East. I don't have a problem with members of Parliament going to Israel, but I say you must. I insist that you spend equal time in Palestine talking to the Palestinian leadership and talking to the Palestinian people to get their perspective on what is happening. I can only wish the Palestinian community here in Australia and obviously in Palestine my best wishes, my solidarity. I'll be travelling to Ireland for Christmas. My wife hails from there, from the north of Ireland, and I'm proud to say that when we visit her homeland, the Palestinian flags will be flying on the streets of Belfast as they always do, as a reminder of the struggles. It's a reminder of the struggles that people have engaged in around the world for their right to self-determination and freedom and peace with justice. And when I see that at Christmas, the Palestinian flags flying in Belfast, where it'll probably be snowing, I'll think of you, the great Palestinian community in New South Wales. Thanks for having me. Have a great night.